Last year, something that I'd never experienced before in my life happened, and it was a life changing moment for me. And I would like to share that experience with you. Shh, let's be honest. Hello, guys, welcome to another episode on Everyday Spice with Mo, where we have real, raw, honest, and relatable conversations. Forgive my voice if it's a bit husky. Like I said, I promise to drop videos every week and I don't want to disappoint, so please manage my husky voice. Last year, I was experiencing serious stomach pains. This time around I think September, October last year, my stomach was really paining me. Then it moved to the upper part of my stomach, and later it moved to my back. And because I'm familiar with ulcer pain, sometimes when it gets intense, it tends to go to your back. So what do? I bought my usual medication, started using it, and it wasn't going. It was so terrible that I thought I was dying. I went online, checked. Some people said take Greek yogurt, take kefir, take cabbage juice. There's nothing I didn't Google in this life, and I didn't try. But it seems like the more I try, the more it gets worse. So before I continue my story, today we're talking about your gut health. Yeah, I know that a lot of people don't take this serious, but it's something that is really serious that you should take very, very personal. And I wouldn't want you to experience what I experienced before you take it serious. I never for once just Googled and said, what is gut health? Why are people like taking supplements for it? I just felt like it was just no things trend. BBL is trending. I just felt like it was just one of those trends till it happened to me. So now back to my story. This happened to me when I moved countries, and when I was in Nigeria, I did not used to experience something like this. So it wasn't something I would say was common or something I would say I'd experienced. No matter how bad I had ulcer pains, after I take omeprazole for like 2 or 3 days, it just disappears and I get to feel better. And I know what my triggers were. Like it was either I take too much something very hot, like a very spicy hot food, or I took a lot of soda, carbonated drinks, which I don't even take them anymore. So when I came here, I thought, oh, maybe it's the water, because forgive me, the water here tastes somehow. So I started sticking to buying bottled water, and I was still not improving. I still having major breakouts like my back, me that I will brag about my skin. So coming here, it was like maybe it was something I was eating, and I realized that I wasn't eating junks. It got to the stage that if I take tea that had milk in it, my stomach gets extremely irritated. So I started becoming afraid to eat. Then I went to see my GP, and they were like, it's just stomach ulcers, it's just something that will go. And it wasn't going. It got to a stage my stomach became hard as a rock. To be honest, I slept like this on my bed upward. If I lie down, my stomach will start to vibrate. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't know, like as if something is shaking, then you hear my stomach rumbling, like making really disturbing noises, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I was using the omeprazole. I think I almost finished 2 packs of it, and I was still not. And I felt like maybe this country's omeprazole was not working for me. And at that point, I started becoming very afraid of my life. I stopped eating. I started to lose weight. So maybe I ate one banana in a day just to avoid anything. That banana, it feels like I ate 3 wraps, in short, 10 wraps of fufu. Like it's just gonna be hard in my tummy. It feels like I'm eating stone. And the more I don't eat, it's not like my stomach is getting soft. It's still as hard as a rock. I started checking online and people were like, it's gut issue. So what's even this gut thing? I started researching and I was like, okay, was I doing some of those things? Was I not paying attention? Was I not listening to my body? And one particular day, I went to use the restroom and sorry, it might be disgusting, but what I did there was completely black. Like this chair. And that was when I knew that I had to call 911. I went to the hospital and they wouldn't even see me. It took them how many hours because it felt like it wasn't serious. It got to a stage 1 hour passed, like 2 hours passed, the third hour, the fourth hour, the fifth hour, and I started to cry. And I think it was around the sixth, after I spent like 6 hours, they called me. They analyzed me and they did some disgusting stuff, which I'm not going to say here, but they kind of condescending because it felt like he was looking at me like I was exaggerating what was wrong with me. When I was fed up, I think I called my GP and said, I don't want to die. This pain is not going and I need a solution. And that was when put me on a waiting list to do an endoscopy. And that's when I went to, and when it was finally time, they did it and they said they found a bacteria called H. pylori, something, and they said they were going to do an eradication process. They were going to do a whole lot of stuff. And you would think, oh yeah, they found the solution. When I started using the eradication drugs, it felt like I was taking poison. The more I take it, the more my stomach hardened, and which I had to call back. They had to give me something else, and let me say that was where I started getting a bit of relief. Like the pain I was feeling, let's say it was above 100%, and let's say it reduced to like 90%. So I was still feeling 90% of the pain, and I had to go and do deep research about what was triggering this, what was making it worse, why is nothing working for me. Even till now, it's not like I don't feel it, but it's better than where I'm coming from. And that's why because I've experienced this, I can tell you why you should take your gut health serious. Like, what's crazy is that your gut affects way more than your digestion. In fact, it affects your mood, your energy, your skin, your hormones, your focus, even your mental health. When your gut is not functioning well, it starts to communicate with you with these things. Like you start to have breakout, constant fatigue, low energy, you feel inflamed, bad sleep, anxiety, and truthfully, these things are usually ignored. The people just be like, it's normal, you're feeling these things. It's okay to feel these things because it's normal. But sometimes your body is communicating with you, but you're not listening. You see, especially stress. Stress messes with your gut so badly. And that was something I realized I was stressing myself and it was already affecting my gut, which I didn't know. I felt like I was doing everything right, but I was stressed and my brain was telling my gut that I'm going through a lot of stress, which it wasn't allowing my food digest. I had to go through fire. Constantly telling myself, learning deep breathing, learning to exercise, learning to do meditation. It was not something I'm even used to. Yoga, where it was not even something I was used to. But I had to deliberately learn to do all these things to help myself recover because medications were not even helping anymore. I remember when I was in Nigeria and I see people in another part of the world doing yoga, meditation. I used to be like, these things don't work. What are all these things? Yeah, but now, when you're ignorant, But now I know better. Healing your gut is not you chasing one perfect wellness routine, or it's just the simple things that help to heal your gut. One can be just drinking enough water, sleeping properly, don't eat late. Sometimes when I hear people say, "Oh, don't eat late," so time, I'm like, "What? Me, I eat late and it doesn't work." But now I understand that max 7, you should be done with dinner, and any other thing that comes on should just be something like maybe tea or something like water or juice. I don't think you should start eating anything heavy after 7. Eat proper food, like proper food, your grains. When they say grains, I know people will be like, "Oh, it sounds very boring," but F4 is your grains. You can blend cereals, you can blend, you can put fruits, combine nice fruit that are good for your gut. Just blend it and make smoothies, make juice if you feel like eating them is really boring. But just do something to help your breath. And as a woman, eat a lot of fiber. Please Google fiber foods, but eat a lot of fibers and also move your body. You can take 30 minutes walk every day. You don't have to go to the gym and pay for membership to do all these things. You can just do something like just make sure you intentionally move your body. And these are just the little things. You don't have to buy 10 supplements, buy 75 teas. See, it's even those small things that helps you. I know social media makes it very overwhelming. They will say buy this supplement, 10 supplements. But you see these small things, just these little things where you just sleep properly, eat the right meal, avoid like too much carbs, caffeine, soda. And you don't have to be a wellness robot. See, I feel like the most genuine healthy people that are really healthy, they actually find the right balance. They don't have to juggle between so many things. I think we should also understand that our health is very, it's like an emotional part of ourselves. You might not know that, but it is, because your body remembers stress. It just stays somewhere in your body. It's just like how traumas are, where something has happened in the past, and when you see something that looks like that pattern, your body automatically remembers. So it's an emotional pattern. So your health is like your emotions. It remembers burnout. It remembers neglect. It remembers everything, every bad thing you dump on it. Your body remembers. And a lot of people are so disconnected to their body because they've ignored their emotions too. So sometimes healing starts from you genuinely asking yourself, what are the patterns that I'm doing that is not helping me? Not what is trending, not what an influencer is selling to you, not what everybody is doing online. It's just you asking yourself, connecting with yourself, your body emotionally, and saying, what am I doing? What has changed? What am I dumping in my body that is making me feel this way? And that's it. That's just a simple way to listen to your gut. Health is wealth. It's funny how you would think medications should be the one to give me. Medications weren't working. I had to listen to my body because my brain kept telling my gut that I was going through stress, and that stress was the one triggering everything going on in my body. Now I don't break out as much as I used to before. You can still see some of them here. Before I break out like crazy, which I never used to. I started to look very old. I started to look like I was being maltreated. I started to look very sick. I wasn't looking the best version of myself. But when I started to listen to my body, rest, eat, move my body, take the right supplements, eat fibers, eat rich food that is good to give me all the nutrients my body needed, I started feeling better. But trust me, even if they give you medications and your lifestyle is not changing and everything you're trying is not, and I know it takes patience. It's not like these things go 100%. Trust me, it doesn't go immediately. It takes time. Your body heals slowly. Another thing that I feel that has helped me is taking olive oil on an empty stomach after I fast. So I felt like fasting was a way to heal my body. And randomly, it's not like I discovered that I have to fast. And trust me, it's not like I fasted like a long time. Maybe there was a time I fasted for 7 days and I was breaking at a particular time. And I realized that I started to feel better. I took olive oil to break my fast before eating any other thing. And I realized that it was helping. Now I take a lot of smoothies. I tried my best not to eat as late as possible. I try my best to avoid a lot of sugar. I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to convince you, excuse me, and not confuse you about listening to your body. And I'm not saying you should go on fast. What works for me might not. I discovered it when I was fasting, like praying to God for me to be healed. And I realized that it was helping me. And trust me, prayer too was one of those things that helped me, because I prayed a lot and said, God, I don't want this in my life. And all of them, na collabo, the collaboration of all these things is what is helping me today. As I made this episode to help whoever is going through gut issues, who might feel like they're alone, who may feel like they don't understand. People don't really understand. Just me, at some point, I felt like people were not even understanding me, and I felt like because they're not really working in my shoes. They're just micromanaging my pain. But trust me, I understand. You might feel overwhelmed, you might feel alone, but just listen to your body. You are the one who can take care of yourself. Listen to your body. Look at what. Start to stop some meal, eat some meals. When they told me that, I felt like, stupid. How am I supposed to know the meal to stop? But I think it will come to you. And I started avoiding dairy, like taking milk all the time. I mostly substitute my milk now to plant-based. I'm not saying it was milk that triggered me, but I'm just trying to try things to know, oh, this is what works for me. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you do, please like, comment, and share with your loved ones. Share with someone that might be going through this and let them know that they are not alone. I love you guys as usual. I'll see you in my next episode. Mwah. Take care of yourself and make sure you listen to your body. Remember, health is wealth.